Okay. Hey, thank you for waiting. Sorry, I had some technical challenge. I think I am in. Okay. Thank you for joining me live. So this is the last day of Inktober 2025, day 31. This is the last day, and I decided to do this one on live. It will be recorded, so don't worry if you're just watching recording, you're not missing anything. So today is the last day, and today's tango is called Idos. It's Let me flip my tile. It's Idos, IDoZ. This is a Zentangle official tango, and this one was released, I believe it was last year, for a celebration of International Day of Zentangle. And I was in Singapore that day attending the Nasty event that's hosted by Debbie New. So a lot of CZTs and Zentangle artists, tanglers are there from all over the world. So we sat and watched this Rick and Maria releasing this video from I think from the Rhode Island, their studio. So we were in Singapore tangling together. Oh, hello, thank you. Oh, now I see that comment. Hello, from let's see, from US, SoCal. This is a South California, right? Oh, yeah, South California, right? And hi, Apple. Good morning, Sensei. Thank you. 日本の方もこんにちは。川内さん、こんにちは。日本の方もいらっしゃったんですね。So somebody from Japan. Thank you. So this is the last day. IDoZ. So let me go over the step out for IDoZ first, as usual. So this one goes like this. You start from this teardrop-like shape, and then you're going to draw another teardrop shape going behind the first one, and then you build more teardrops, each one going behind the previous ones. And it doesn't matter how many ones you draw. And once you come kind of all the way around, or you can stop any point, go back to the first one. So the first one comes in front of everything else, so you can locate the first one, and then you're gonna aura. It's called tethered aura, starting from the corner, the aura, but it's slightly getting wider, and you stop right here. So if you started from left side, let's continue just doing on the left side only. Rotating your paper, your tile, going all the way around. And once you come back to the beginning, you go on the right side. So repeat, rotating your tile. So think as a sewing machine. Your right hand, your drawing hand, it could be left for you, is the needle or the machine that's not moving, and your tile or your paper is a fabric you're feeding under your hand. And then you came back to the beginning, and then you do the left side again all the way around. So you came back at the beginning, and then you do the opposite side. It really doesn't matter if you start from left or right. And you continue building one line at a time. Sorry if you're making you dizzy by turning my paper so many times, but you don't have to turn your tile or paper if it's easier for you, but it's good to turn your tile so that you can continue to draw your line in the same direction. So this is the basic idea of IDoZ. IDoZ stands for International Day of Zentangle. So I'm gonna do this on my actual tile. Hi everybody, welcome. I'm reading your comment. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for joining from different parts of the world. So in this paper, where should I start? This is kind of cute. I ended up having like a heart shape. I should have done there was a poke heart in this one. Now I look at this paper, it would have been perfect. Like this one right here, but it's too late. This is my last paper, so we'll do IDoZ on this one. So I can start here. I'm gonna do something a little different. Instead of doing a teardrop shape, maybe I'll do teardrop shape with corners. I've never done this before, so I don't know how this is gonna work, but it's a fun adventure, right? So this one's gonna be like this. You can make any geometric tangle into organic tangle by removing the corners. So why not making organic tangle more geometric by giving little corners? This could be a crazy idea, but I think in the end, it's gonna all work out. That's the beautiful thing about Zentangle. There's no mistake. So if you ended up not liking this, there's always another paper, there's always another piece to explore. It's the same idea. You add tethered aura to one side. Maybe I'll bring this one here. I'm figuring this one out as I go. One aura at a time. It's always fun to explore. Well, now I'm tangling this. I realized that I forgot to go over one last step when I showed you the step out at the beginning. So let me go back to my initial paper and I'll show you how to finish up this tangle. I'm liking this. And then you don't have to have equal number of auras if you wanna add a few extra ones here and there. That's fine too. Maybe because I have more space on this side, I will add more auras like this. So coming back to this step out, I forgot to show you. So once you're done with all your tethered aura, you're gonna add these lines inside your teardrop. then all this tethered aura magically merges together, and you won't even know that you started from a teardrop shape. So that's how you complete your Idos. So going back to my Idos with corner, so it's going to go here. I'm just adding a few lines inside the initial shape. Oh, this is interesting. And I will switch to my brown. 川内さん、ありがとうございます。体調は、はい、大丈夫です。昨日、ちょっと片頭痛で寝込んでおりましたが、しっかり寝たら今日は良くなりました。ありがとうございます。So somebody was asking, how am I doing? How's my health today? I'm doing better. Yesterday I was a little sick. I think I was sniffling in the morning. You heard me in the previous video. I was sniffling, and I had a bad headache yesterday, so I had to cancel my plan. So I'm just auraing the middle part, and maybe I can squeeze some orbs inside. If you want to, you can embellish this tangle any way you like. I'm just doing this a little differently than usual since I've done this tangle so many times in a typical way. In the original, as an original organic tangle, I wanted to do something different. It's fun. It's fun to explore, especially since we're working on really small piece like this. It's easier to take risks, take chance. Or you could stick to your initial rounded teardrop version, original one. And maybe I'll add just a little more details. So anyways, thank you for tangling with me this Inktober, this year's 2025 Inktober. It's been fun. Before this starts, at the end of September, I was thinking, I'm going to skip Inktober this year. I'm going to be busy because I have a big event in October and I have a few other things to do, trips and stuff. So I was really on the fence and almost decided not to do Inktober this year. But then at the last second, I decided, you know what, I want to do this. Because I'm busy, I should really do this. I'm going to benefit from this. So I decided to do this. And I'm so glad that I decided to do this and to have meet so many new artists through this process. And I decided to create videos, and I think so many people found me, new people found me through this Inktober series of videos. So everything is on the playlist. You can go back and watch. And also somebody was saying scorpions. I can't read it. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone and it's so tiny. I can't read scorpion something. And this was my first Inktober, and I was excited. I'm doing on this on tiles, then complete completion with all 31. Great, great. I'm glad that you decided to do it, and I'm glad that this is first one, and I hope this will become your tradition. And I'm gonna do shading. So this is me, how I shade, is I usually do like bigger areas first to look for any overlap of a tangle or anywhere where the lines are coming together. And then I'll move on to the detail shading. That's just how my preferred way of shading. Some people do details first, but I do overlapping first. I do the big pieces first, and then I do little pieces later. But whatever ways, it's gonna work out beautiful. The reason why I like doing the bigger areas and overlapping areas first is that's probably the most efficient, effective parts to shade that makes difference in your drawing. And also that's probably the easiest part to find and to put down some graphite. So you don't have to overthink, and it's easier to spot where it needs to be shaded. So I do those parts first. And then if I feel like there's some other places that require or asking for shading, I'll move on to those details section. Right now I'm shading where all the lines are coming together. That's already kind of dark, so it's easier to spot these areas. Oh, I see somebody say, read it as Scorpion's Designs. Okay, Jackie, thank you. That helps. When I see there's a lot of letters, it's a little hard to read. I think I need new glasses. That's the truth. I can't deny any longer. I'm gonna get new glasses this winter. I'm at the age that I should really invest in reading glasses. Thank you for your help, Jackie. So then I'm gonna do just a little bit of shading in each layer. And somebody said, I've really enjoyed this tangling with you. Thank you so much from Sacramento, California. Welcome from Sacramento. Is it still warm there? I've never been to Sacramento. I've been to LA, I've been to San Diego, San Francisco, but never been to Sacramento. There's ambience outside. Maybe you can hear. Shading is so much fun. I love listening to the sound of tortillon and pencil on my paper. The other day I was teaching in Kyoto. It was a big facility. There were about 60, 70 people in the room. But once we start drawing, it's so quiet. And especially when we were shading and working with tortillon, all you can hear is the sound of pencils and tortillons grinding over the paper. And it was just such a beautiful moment that I enjoyed. And what's hard about shading is to know when to stop, right? You can just keep going and keep going. But I always tell all my students that do not shade everything. Make sure you leave enough section that's not shaded. I mean, I'm working in a tinted paper with tinted with watercolors, so I can use highlight to add white if I feel like I added too much graphite. I can always create highlighted spot later. But if you are working, especially on white paper, you want to make sure that you leave white spot untouched, intact, so that you have white. Well, you started with white paper and you added black lines, and then you shading is everything in between, right? Different tones of gray. But if you lose white part, it kind of becomes very, I don't know, dark and dull. You want to have bright white spot that makes shading more effective and stand out. So make sure you don't shade, you don't end up shading everything. You know, sometimes we get carried away and it's so much fun to shade, and you ended up adding too much graphite. You know, too much good thing is not good. So let's leave some white space spots if you are working on white paper. If you're working on a tanned paper or colored paper like me, you can always add white later, like I'm doing. And you add a little bit of highlight. Let me clean my tip of my white gel pen. Add little dots. Oops, I went over black line. I can fix that. And you can consider the direction of light, which way it's coming from, and only do on one side, or you can completely ignore. When Rico and Maria initially introduced shading or teach shading, they said, you know, you don't have to worry about direction of lights and light source and all that. It's more about adding drama, adding contrast, so you can ignore traditional shading rules. That makes the shading so much free and so much fun. But if you have a knowledge of traditional shading, the light source and direction and all that, please use the knowledge that you have. I've done a bunch of traditional drawing class, and shading is fun, but can be really intimidating too, especially when you're a beginner. So I try to just have fun when I do Zentangle shading, and at the end I add just a little finishing touch to bring out some of the lines to create more contrast. And then I'm gonna put my chalk. Before you put down your chalk, decide which direction you want to look at this piece. And maybe about here, I'm gonna add my chalk. T, M, O, and I. So this has my name, Tomomi, Tomomi. It's kind of like a Toyota logo. It has all the alphabet for my name. But anyways, thank you so much for tangling with me. It's fun to tangle with you, or maybe you're just watching and tangling later. But thank you for being here, and thank you for finishing up this Inktober with me. And I enjoy looking at your tangle on on the social media if you've been posting those on your medias. If not, I hope you treasure those tangles you created. I mentioned this yesterday too, but you can create this cute little booklet. If you're using the Bijou tile, you can turn. This is from Inktober 2023. You can turn this into a little booklet so that you have a little booklet for different challenges. This was Bijou Be Raw series. Little booklet like this so that you don't lose your Bijou tiles. But I will take a break from daily tangling video in November, but there's a challenge called Tangles hosted by Lisa Anderson CZT. You can find Facebook group, and in December I'll probably do the videos for Advent Tangle. I may post something here and there in November too, so please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for being here and tangling with me, and I will see you soon. Bye now. Thank you for watching. Bye.